I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter if you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter whether you're the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter whether you my family, friends, or my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't even matter whether you like me, like my YouTube videos, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It don't even matter whether you criticize me or not. It don't matter if you dark-skinned or light-skinned. Again, I'm gonna say that I greet all of you all with the same universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. You see, those that know me, no matter what their nationality or their religions are, they know two things about me. They know I'm not a racist, and they know I don't advocate violence, nor do I encourage hate. You know, today is April the 6th, all right now, 2020, Monday, the time being about 5:30 p.m. You know, I look at the critics, and then some criticize me, and then they go back and say, I don't know the story of your daughters, but they said they feel that I'm brainwashing them. Now, if you don't know the story, and you say you think or you believe or you assume that I'm brainwashing them, then, you know, an assumption is not a fact. You see, I can't brainwash my daughter when I entrust the Charleston R1 school district with her and her sister at the ages of 5 and 6 years old. When the 5-year-old supposed to have been, after she got out of school, the kindergarten, at 2:45, I signed a contract with the then director of transportation, a black individual, and the principal of the Turns Elementary School, a white individual. And the contract was my 5-year-old daughter, who was having problems with the Head Start in the kindergartens. It was so much stuff going on the bus that I asked them, can she ride with her older sister, who was going to the school from the 1st to the 5th grade. They got out at 3 o'clock. But at 2:45, they was to take my daughter, 5-year-old daughter, to the office and sit in the office like she been doing until 3 o'clock, until the 1st through the 5th graders get out so she can get on the bus with her sister. But they breached the contract. Mike, I didn't even forget your name. You know, you done said so much derogatory thing, but your last name is Cole. Or Coley, Coale. Now, they breached the contract by sending my daughter not to the bus at 3 o'clock, but sending her at 2:45 by herself to the bus with a white bus driver that came from Arkansas that hadn't even been here for 2 years. They don't know no history on it. And this man had been giving my daughters gifts, telling her how pretty her and her sister was. I'm gonna tell you some of the story. Now, she had a backpack on when she got there. This is how her backpack was. This is her sister's, I kept it. You see this? You know how it go around here, and when they take them off, they hang these here up. When she came back from school, this is how hers was. She was 60 pounds. It was ripped like this. You notice this was missing. The bus driver asked her, White bus driver. I know you don't like me talking about white folks. I talk about white and black. White bus driver asked her, can he pick her up by her backpack? She shook her head and told him no. 5-year-old, big old white boy, about 6 feet tall and something, about 200 and some pounds. My poor little daughter, 60 pounds. Shook her head and told him no. Now, she shouldn't have been walking to the bus by herself at all. One of them aides should have assisted her to the bus, but they shouldn't even took her to the bus because it wasn't 3 o'clock yet. Should have took her to the office. You that don't know the story, I'm just showing you some of the stories, so you can get in your own business. And after I tell you what happened, if you got a 5-year-old daughter, let me get her and do what this white man did to my daughter. Picked up anyway. This broke. This part broke. This was still on there. He brought her on the bus by herself, sat on the front seat by herself, opened up a compartment in the front of the bus and brought out a pocket knife and got behind her and cut the rest of that scrap off. Do you think your daughter be scared if you're white? A black man coming behind her and doing that after she done asked him not to pick her up. Mr. Know-it-all, Mr. that's getting in my business. You talking about my YouTube videos, don't watch them. I'll keep on talking about this racism and these sellout blacks until the day I die or leave, whichever one come first. But I complained about it because she was afraid. When she was on that bus, she said in her mind, let me tell you what she said she was thinking. I ain't brainwashed her to say this. I didn't cut it off. The bus driver admitted to cut it off. White man can admit doing something to a black child down here in Southeast Missouri and get away with it. It ain't no secret about it. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, my daughter said that she said she was thinking in her mind. That's what she told me and her white psychologists who agree with me. Her white doctors who agree with me, my neighbors who agree with me, and other black people and white people in Charleston, Missouri that got good sense, that's not racist and not sellout blacks. They seen something wrong with it. But Mikey Jones and all you other cowards, I don't care what you think. That's why I told you, come on this property. You talking about my daughter, you come on this property, I'll lay you to rest. Mikey, you claim to be so tough, what won't go on in your city? You don't own no city. You couldn't run nothing, you a coward. You like men. You like it taking it back there. I don't want you, I don't like boo-boo. But anyway, I complained and they did nothing. Blacks spoke up for this white man. Even assistant principal, may he rest in peace. He committed suicide. Before he committed suicide, he told me that these people, white people, made him lie and said that the bus driver was just trying to help my daughter. That's what the white police officer, who's for the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, who's the police resource officer, tried to tell me that my daughter said that the man was helping her. She didn't need no assistant on the bus. She can walk on the bus herself. Let me tell you something else. Mr. Cole or Miss Cole, whatever you is, I don't know if you're male or female. You see this? You see this cast? You can't brainwash a barely 2-year-old to say that, hey, this cast, this played like it was on your arm. It was on her arm. Her arm was broke. Elbow. You know why? Because the Charleston, Missouri Police Department came in our house a little after midnight, took them out at 1 and 2 years old, gave them to their mother. No justifiable cause. But then put her in the Susanna Wesley Family Learning Center shelter in East Prairie, Missouri, and they knew the condition of the mother, that she shouldn't have had my children. They knew that they came in my house without probable cause or warrant. You see what I'm saying? And took them at gunpoint. My neighbors and them was watching them. You see, it wasn't imaginary. They was gone for 70 days and 70 nights. I found them in the city of Chicago in the streets, homeless. Multiple mosquito bites that was bleeding. Malnourished. Dehydrated. And the doctor, when I got her to St. Louis, when I got back down here, the doctor said her elbow had been fractured for a minimum, it could have been longer, a minimum of 2 weeks in the streets. Now you see why I talk about killing you jokers if you come on my property? I bared the pain that my daughter bared. Y'all didn't. I didn't brainwash. You sound just cold. You sound just like this black preacher down here talking about that I brainwashed my children when he took up with them Negroes that was coming out in front of my house trying to harass me. You sound just like him. That's what he was saying. But you see, one thing about it, I don't care what y'all say. My daughters and them suffered way more than that. When they went up to Chicago, they had to suffer some ignorant family members. You see what I'm saying? Y'all don't know the story. I know the story. You see, I went in front of a judge that was on the bench for 25 years down here. He gave me custody of these girls because he seen the mistake he did and gave them to the wrong person. So when you talk about me brainwashing my child, I'll tell you what, you come out here, I'll scatter your brains. That's how y'all make me angry when you talk about my daughters. Talk about me. Don't discuss my daughter. You don't know the pain that my daughter was going through with her arm. I don't care if you white, black, and Mikey, you talking about racism, you talking about they the Ben Kane. Why don't you come with the Klan, man? I'll wipe all of you jokers out. You see what I'm saying? I'll wipe you out, Mikey. Mikey, I take both of your legs off and both of your arms off, and they're the police to try to stop you to bleeding to death. Chomp, when you get to talking about my daughters. Now what you want to do is, you want to go try to find somebody that don't mind dying and don't mind sitting in that jail for chopping your legs and arms off. Now you go tell the Klan that. If you in a mob, you tell your mob that. When it come to my daughters, y'all keep them out of y'all mouth or come on this property and let's rumble. It ain't gonna be peace, be still. When I get through with you, you gonna be still.